first tweet about cash and holding the cash. Do you see a problem, Jeff, now that people don't carry so much cash around? It's all credit cards.
So it's a cashless society. So I mean, I recently have introduced debit card betting, but it doesn't make any appreciable difference. And very few people come up to me and myself or Barry Johnson or people like that who carry that facility and want to bet on credit debit cards. But we've got it there. We got it there.
It's the way things will go.
What about the question about the £5 minimum?
Well, for example, myself, my own firm, we never turn down a bet. We actually have a sign that says £5 minimum, but we never say...
Well, that's
hold on a minute.
How can you say that?
Wait a minute, Big Mac.
So nobody comes up to you with under a five.
No, but actually...
Stupid idiot.
No.
It says £5 minimum. Oh, no, I'll ask for 10 pence. And imagine what will happen to me.
We never
turn one down because you never get asked.
Not only did we never turn down the bet, but because we never seek to embarrass any customer. A customer that
embarrass yourself.
A customer has £1 each way or a £2 win bet is a new customer. They're a new customer, and they are yesterday's £2 punter is tomorrow's £20 punter.
They see your £5 sign, so they don't come up to you. It's like that fat oaf, that Bismarck Dennis.
But you get on well then.
He's always going on about women coming up with 50p each way to Tory's horse at about 5 to 4 on.
If I had a £1 sign,
if I
had a £1 sign, you'd be telling me I should take 25 pence each way.
I'm not telling you what to do, but don't be a hypocrite by saying that a £5 sign and therefore I wouldn't turn down a 10p bet. You're a hypocrite.
The bottom line is we don't turn down a bet.
Because you don't get off the bet. And a big fat sign, £5 only. It is unbelievable, isn't it?
Let's draw another. Let's go to the other end.
It's like saying the shop is shut and you're trying to.
Yes, you're quite right.
We don't.
And then you think a burglar.
We not only never turn down
you put the mask on your face. Yeah.
We not only never turn down a minimum bet. We never turn down. Hold on a second. We never turn down a maximum bet either.
Yeah, because it's bigger on Betfair.
And that's
all the time.
no.
The price is always bigger on Betfair.
Don't be so ridiculous. For £5, £3, £2. We're talking about, somebody walks up to me and asks me for a 5,800 each way. Do you really think that I'm going to get that on Betfair, John? Oh, come on, you know enough about it. It is the fact of the matter. If I've got 6 on my board and somebody walks up to me and says, Jeff, 5,800 each way, they're going to get that.
Explain very quickly. That's a very good point you make. The fraction.
Of course.
Now, people just don't know. Always bet with a fraction. Can you explain quickly better than I can? Well, very quickly, the fractions to punters.
It's an olden form of betting which many traditional bookmakers will respect. It's a code where basically a punter will back a horse to win £100 or £1,000, and so therefore instead of saying at 6 to 1, you'll back it, you'd have 800 and odd pounds. You'd have a 5,800. You might have to have at 6 to 1 5,800 and something. So the bookmakers, as a kind of concession,
7 to 1, 8 to 1. You can basically get the fraction.
So you can get the
even I remember 100 to 7. You'd ask the bookmaker for the fraction. You'd have £7 or £14 or £10 to get the fraction.
Many bookmakers, we have to remember this. Many bookmakers. This is not something you get in an exchange, John. You can't negotiate with an exchange. But this is something that bookmakers and this is the key point. The place book. Many win prices with bookmakers. You've got to remember, many win prices with bookmakers on the place market are substantially less than your quarter or a fifth. They could be a seventh or an eighth or a ninth of the odds.
Jeff, seriously, can we move on now? Because it's something that when I talk about the levy agreement,
sir,
and the details.
It's yawn. The levy.
He asked me to talk about it, so I'm talking about it.
Why is the amount of money to racing such a ball? What is this?
To most people, the yawn, the levy negotiations, 50-50.
What's bad about it?
What's bad about it? In the 51st, I'll give you one number. I'm only going to give you one number. I don't want to bore the people.
Well, you've done that already.
No. I'm going to make one more attempt to bore the people. The 51st levy scheme, which was 2 years ago under the Paul Roy auspices, with William Hill, Ladbrokes and Coral sat down and got an underpin. That's a guarantee to racing of £45 million. Under Mr. Paul Bitar, our new Australian leader, he sat down with William Hill, Ladbrokes, Corals and Betfred, a massive player in the betting shop market in the United Kingdom, and they've got an underpin of £47.5 million. So what Paul Bitar has managed to secure is £2.5 million more than has been secured by Paul Roy with 3 companies. So 4 gets 2.5 million more, 3 gets 2.5 million less. It's a pathetic deal. It should never have been signed.
Did I say yawn, snore? Move on!
Really?
No, absolutely. It's not a subject which the man in the street is particularly interested in.
Why should they?
The last thing you want to see with these small field graded chases is someone like Fergus Wilson filling them full of rubbish horses. So it's not all about the quantity of horse in these races, and you can't just say, we should have more runners. At the end of the day...
John Neacott used to do that years and years ago, this Assad al-Mulk, and do you remember all those?
Before my time.
Put them in to go and get the place money. That's happened down the ages.
We don't want to see that. It's not all about numbers. And, if that is the number of horses which are attracted to that race, that's the way it is.
It's a fantastic... I think National Hunt Racing, one of the key point made to me recently by a regular customer racing was that he loved National Hunt Racing because he used to go out and go racing, go to Ascot, go to Cheltenham and see all these amazing stars turn out regularly, 7, 8, 9 times. They are geldings, for goodness sake. Why have we got to this cotton wooling stage? Horses like Cato Star, they're great big 17-hand brutes.
Yeah, but Best Mate led the way there.
Yeah, he did.
Because of Best Mate wins 3 Gold Cups, runs only a couple of times in a season, and that was for Henrietta Knight, and she was absolutely right. Had he had won 4 or 5 times, he would never have won 3 Gold Cups. But that's what sort of led the way, isn't it?
We've got a tremendous polarisation of trainers these days. We've got 2 major trainers. We've got Nicky Henderson in this country and Paul Nicholls, and that's it. And basically, we had Nicky Henderson last week ridiculously saying to the public, "I'm not going to race my horses against each other. They're not his horses. They're not his horses. They are his owners' horses."
Do you
and
think
Nicky,
his owners want to beat themselves and they're his fellow owners in his stable?
No, they're not beating themselves. They're beating up on other owners in the same stable.
The point being, no other trainers could probably beat him in a race of that nature.
But there are so few top-class horses. So, for instance, Sprinter Sacra, due to run on the Tingle Creek on Saturday, won't be running. That's a huge loss. It would have been a small field, but the crowds would have turned up to see him. Not to me, and not to the betting public on Saturday. Not to the betting public, John.
But
there are 10,000 races a year. You haven't got to have
So send him to Wincanton. Send him to Wincanton.
Yeah.
Send him to Huntingdon. Yeah. Send him anywhere. Let everybody turn out at Wincanton, Huntingdon, whatever. Well, we've got the Tingle Creek on Saturday.
Would you say the same about Frankel?
Oh, I think Frankel. I wouldn't, because I think Frankel was a far superior product, a far superior horse than Sprinter Sacra will ever be.
Well, that's arguable. That's arguable.
No,
it's for the coats. It's for the coats. It's for the coats.
Sprinter Sacra would be running on the flat if he was a superior horse to Frankel.
Why?
Because he would be.
Ask the punters out there, do they prefer flat racing or National Hunt
Ask the punters. Ask the punters on Saturday afternoon what they want to be engaged in, and I know they'll be engaging. They'll be engaging Sire de Grugy, Summersby, racing off each other 5-2 the field. Captain Conan, correct.
But they would love
would they have run?
But they would love to see Sprinter Sacra.
Would they have run?
Well, Sire de Grugy definitely.
Against what? Against trees? Go and watch him at Seven Barrows. Go watch him run around the trees at Seven Barrows and go, very good.
No punter wants to see a race with 3 Nicky Henderson horses against 3 Paul Nicholls horses. You talk about integrity of racing because there's that perception that if you've got...
nonsense.
Nobody's going to say...
Do you really think...
Is anyone saying the Maktoums are pulling horses? Stop them.
No, ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Godolphin run their horses against each other all the time. Khaled Abdallah does it all the time. Aidan O'Brien does it all the time. What's wrong with Nicky Henderson and Paul Nick, particularly Nicky, my good friend Nicky, with running his horses against... They're not his horses. They are his owner's horses. Andy Stewart, who doesn't own these horses. There was a £30,000 race at Newbury on Friday afternoon, last Friday, a novice chase that Nicky's been pontificating on about, where there were 4 runners and Nicky Henderson did not have a runner. So he's claiming that there is no opportunity for his horse. It's a nonsense. It's a fiction. What he should be doing is running his horses aggressively against each other because they're owned by different people in his yard.
I wouldn't want to... You see, you are so thick, you're unable to understand the human psyche. That's your trouble.
I'm a bookmaker.
Well, that sums you up. Enough said, the case proven, take the prisoner down. But you've got to think, if you're in a stable, do you want to be beaten by somebody in your own stable?
No,
you follow them.
Who are we talking about? Andy Stewart against Paul Roy, for example? No, they don't care if they beat up on each other.